Chapter 27. Behind Enemy Lines. From his RAF training, Grandpa knew very well how to evade capture behind enemy lines. Every pilot had to. The chances of being shot down over occupied territory were high. Together he and Jack kept off the main roads and stayed out of the glare of street lamps. When it was dark enough, the pair scaled a wall on the nearest London train station and climbed up onto the roof of the train they needed. Freezing cold and clinging on for dear life, they rode all the way back home. "Why do we need to be up here, Wing Commander?" asked Jack, shivering as he spoke. "If I know the Gestapo, they'll already have boarded the train and be checking every passenger's identification papers, looking for us too. We are much safer up here." Just then, behind Grandpa, Jack saw that the train was speeding into a tunnel. Get down!" shouted the boy. The old man looked around and then flattened his body next to Jack's on the roof of the carriage. Just in time. When they'd passed through the tunnel, Grandpa pushed himself up to his knees. "Thank you, squadron leader," he said. "That was very close." At that moment, a low branch of a tree whacked him on the back of the head. Whack! "Oh!" "Are you all right, sir?" "Yes, I'm fine, old boy," replied Grandpa. "Damned enemy, putting that blasted branch there." Jack was pretty sure Mr. Hitler and his Nazi friends had very little to do with it, but he let the comment pass. It was close to midnight when they finally arrived at the station. Soon after, they reached Grandpa's road. The plan was to hide out in the old man's flat for a while. After all that had happened at the Imperial War Museum and Scotland Yard, the boy thought it best they didn't go to the family house. To Jack's surprise, there was a light on in Raj's shop. The newsagent was still up, taking in bundles of tomorrow's newspapers that had just been dropped off outside. The boy knew that he could trust Raj, just as well as he and his grandfather were now on the run from the police. "Raj!" called Jack. The newsagent looked into the darkness. "Who's there?" The pair tiptoeing along the street, they stayed close to the wall, avoiding the light. It was a few moments before the newsagent could see them. "Jack! Mr. Bunting! You gave me a very bad case of the willies." "Sorry, Raj. We didn't want to frighten you. We just didn't want to be seen, that's all," said the boy. "Why?" "It's a long story, Charwalla," replied Grandpa. "I look forward to telling you over a few pints of ale in the officers' mess." "I'm so pleased you were found safe and well, sir," exclaimed the newsagent. A car turned into the road. The headlamps shone on them. "We'd better get inside," said Jack. Yes, of course," replied Raj. Come in. And bring a bundle of newspapers in for me, please." Chapter 28. A Costly Call. The newsagent opened the door to his shop and ushered Jack and his grandfather inside. Once in his emporium, he gestured for the old man to sit down on one of the piles of newspapers. "There we are, sir. Most kind, Charwalla." "Are you hungry? Thirsty? Please, Master Bunting, help yourself to anything in the shop." "Really?" asked Jack. To a 12-year-old boy, this was quite an offer. Anything. "Anything," claimed Raj. "You two are my favourite customers in the world. Please, be my guests. Take whatever you want." Jack smiled. "Thank you so much." After the day's adventure, he was in desperate need of some refreshment, so the boy helped himself to a few items for himself and Grandpa. A packet of crisps, a couple of bars of chocolate, and 2 cartons of fruit juice. To the boy's surprise, Raj began ringing all the items up on the till. £1.75, please." Jack sighed and reached into his pocket for some change, which he placed on the counter. "There you go, Raj. Mr. and Mrs. Bunting called round here some hours ago. Wonder if I'd seen either of you." They both looked very worried. Oh no, in all the excitement, the boy had not really given his parents a second thought, and now he felt very guilty. "I'd better call them right away, Raj. Please, can I use your phone?" "Of course," said Raj, as he placed the telephone on the counter. "For you, there is no charge to make a call." "Thank you," replied the boy. "Just keep it very brief, please. No more than 4 or 5 seconds if you can." "I'll try." Jack looked over at his grandfather, who was happily munching a chocolate bar and muttering between mouthfuls. "Jolly good show on the rations, Charwalla." Sorry, we are all out of biscuits, called the newsagent. My aunt broke in here last night and managed to get through 4 boxes of them. She even chewed the cardboard. Mum, it's me, said Jack into the receiver. Where on earth have you been? Replied his mother. Me and your father have been driving around all day and all night looking for you. Well, I can explain. But before he could finish, his mother butted in. We had your teacher, Miss Verity, call the house and tell us what had happened at the Imperial War Museum. You broke a Spitfire. That wasn't my fault. If that security guard hadn't been so heavy... Mum was in no mood to listen. I don't want to hear it, she said. Your grandfather turned up at the museum, of all places, and that he has been arrested by the police. And when me and your dad got all the way to Scotland Yard, they told me the pair of you had escaped. Well, yes and no. We just walked out of there. Shut up. Now where are you? Raj butted in. Might you be so kind as to ask your mother not to call back? We're already on 1 minute 38 seconds, and it's going to be a very, very expensive call. Mum, Raj says, can you call back? Oh, you're at Raj's shop, are you? Stay right there, we're coming over. With that, the boy's mother slammed the telephone down. Click. When Jack looked up, he realised Raj had been staring at his watch the whole time. 1 minute and 46 seconds. Tut, tut. My mum said they'd be straight over to pick us up. Splendid, replied the newsagent. Now, while you're waiting, can I interest you in a complimentary browse of my brand new Christmas cards? No, thank you, Raj. It's January. This one is particularly Christmassy, said the man as he showed Jack what it was. In fact, a completely blank white card. Jack looked at the card and then at Raj. He thought for a moment the newsagent might be losing his marbles. But that's got absolutely nothing on it, Raj. No. That's where you're wrong, young Master Bumpting. It is in fact a close-up picture of some snow. Absolutely perfect for the festive season. Just £1 for 10 cards. Or I have a special offer on. That's a surprise, muttered the boy. If you take 1,000 cards off my hands, then I can do you a very good price. No, thank you, Raj, replied Jack politely. But the newsagent loved to haggle. 2,000? Just then, police sirens howled outside. The enemy was closing in. Chapter 29, A Shadowy Figure. At first, the sirens sounded as if they were somewhere off in the distance, but they were fast becoming louder and louder. From the noise, it sounded like an entire fleet of police cars were speeding towards Raj's shop. Jack's eyes darted towards the newsagents. Accusingly. I didn't call them. I promise, said Raj. Mum must have, uttered the boy. With no time to lose, he grabbed his grandfather's arm and hurried him towards the door. Wing Commander, we need to get out of here, now! But as they raced out into the dark, it was too late. They were surrounded. Brakes screeched as a dozen or so police cars trapped Jack and Grandpa in a semicircle. There were blinding lights and deafening noise. Put your hands up! Shouted one of the policemen. The pair did what they were told. It's straight to a prisoner of war camp for me. Colditch Castle, knowing my luck. Take care, old boy. See you in Blighty, whispered Grandad. Raj followed them out. He'd attached his white handkerchief to a curly-whirly and waved it like a flag to surrender. Please don't shoot. I've just had the front of my shop ready decorated. Jack's parents must have been travelling in one of the police cars because now they broke through the line of officers. The pair ran towards their son and embraced him. We're so worried about you, said Dad. I am sorry, said Jack. I didn't mean to worry you. Well, we were worried, Jack, replied Mum, softening at the sight of her son. What's going to happen to Grandpa? Asked the boy. They can't send him to prison. No, replied Mum. None of us want that, not even the police. I called that nice Mr. Vicar tonight. Grandpa's very lucky. By some miracle, he secured a place for him at that old folks' home, Twilight Towers. Right on cue, a shadowy figure stepped out of one of the police cars. With the bright glare of the headlights behind her, at first all Jack could make out was her silhouette. She was a short, stocky lady, with what looked like a nurse's hat on, and her head had a cape draped over her shoulders. on her head and a cape draped over her shoulders. "Who are you?" demanded Jack. At a slow pace, the figure walked towards him. Her high-heeled boots echoed on the cold, wet pavement. When she finally reached them, her face contorted into a pantomime of a smile. Her eyes were small and mean, and her nose upturned, as if it was sticking it against a window. "Ah, you must be young Jack," she said brightly. Her voice was light, but Jack could tell there was darkness lurking in her words. "I had a call from that charming Reverend Hogg, the vicar, and the vicar and I are so close. We share a concern for this elderly man." I said, "Who are you?" repeated the boy. "My name is Miss Swine. I am the matron of Twilight Towers, and I've come to take your grandfather away," purred the lady.